Vinita, hi. Good afternoon, Vinita. Vinita, good afternoon. How are you?
Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon. I'm good, sir.
How was your weekend? What did you do?
It was more of a debate, an argument.
Okay, with your folks at home, is it?
Yes,
Okay.
it's
It, it,
about.
it's a common phenomenon in all the households.
Yeah.
Fortunately, the debates and the arguments should not end up in a fight.
No, no, never like that, sir.
Yeah,
Never, never like that.
arguments are pretty much important for nurturing the relationships.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Yeah. Then how's your mom? How are things at home? All well?
Mom's better, sir. Mom's better.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, let's get on. I'm sorry I'm late today because today I had a couple of back-to-back calls. Mondays are a little hectic in the mornings, and
Yes, sir.
evenings are hectic on Fridays.
Okay.
So that's wait. And let's get moving. Let me quickly share my screen, Vinita. Just give me a moment.
Okay, okay, sir.
Are you able to see now?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Sure. Thanks. Okay. Let me open the document. And where were we, Vinita? Which topic where we actually stopped at on Friday?
Sir, it was about email writing, sir.
Number? Could you
You've given a few examples.
37, right? We stopped at 37, correct?
Yes, for 37,
Uh,
professionalism.
so, see, this is basically very, very important because I took a lot of time, helping understand what all of these attributes are. When I say
Yes, sir.
professionalism, importantly, it focuses on your formal life, your uh, work life ecosystem at the office or at any workplace. Okay, any questions on these,
Okay.
or do you have anything to add on?
Sir, we were discussing about email writing, and
Correct. I think
you gave me a few
I
examples.
shared those
Yes,
documents, right?
sir.
Did I?
Yes,
I
sir, you
did,
did.
right? Okay.
Yes,
This
yes,
this
yes,
is
you
not
did.
here. Just give me a moment. I'll just pull that up. Just give me a moment.
Okay.
Is this the one?
Yes, sir, this is the.
It's the one, right? Any questions on this,
Yes.
Vinita?
So this is fine, sir, but then I have a situation in my head,
Hmm.
uh, in my mind. If what if there's a mandatory training announcement in the organization, and the person has to draft an email? So that would basically include the date, the training session timings,
So
the
you,
basic
you
stuff.
you mean to say that you are sending this email to a certain set of employees?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So this is got to be
Or it
yeah.
could be for or it could be for a new employee.
Hmm. What kind of training are you talking about? Are you talking about the induction or are you talking about the process training? What kind of training are you talking about? There are different sets of training you would want to do. What kind of training would you intend to do to the new set of new hires?
Hires would be induction, sir.
Okay. Can you see the screen, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So you can put the subject line as induction notification, or
Okay.
it can be induction schedule. It can be the one of them. Okay.
Okay.
So let's begin here. Okay. So you are addressing, who are you addressing? Who are your target audience here? So you are
New
talking
and
from a
new.
HR's perspective, correct?
Ah, yes, sir. Yes.
Okay.
HR perspective to the new employee.
Okay. Okay. Let's begin with kind attention. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
See, these are all new guys, so you can put it as kind attention recipients.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Dear all, we welcome you on board. Okay. This is to indicate or notify that induction has been scheduled on November on board new hires to. This is to indicate and notify that induction has been scheduled to onboard new hires. Please ensure present on please ensure to be present. Please ensure to be present. Please ensure your presence on the below date or schedule. Okay. Then your date. Okay. Time, place. Okay. I'm making changes here and there. Okay.
Okay, sir.
We are pleased to welcome you on board, or we are pleased to have you on board also.
Okay.
You can use any one of these. We are pleased to welcome you on board, or we are pleased to
Okay,
have
sir.
you on board. Okay. This is to indicate or notify.
Okay.
You can use just one of them. Don't use both of them.
Okay, sir. Got it.
Okay. This is to indicate that an induction has been scheduled to onboard new hires. Please ensure your presence on the below date and schedule. We hope, we wish you all the best in your future, in your professional endeavor with us. Okay. Wish you all the best in professional endeavor with us. Hoping to meet you on the mentioned above. Meet you. Hoping to meet you on the above. Above scheduled. Above scheduled. Hoping to meet you at the above. At the above. On the above. The above. At the above schedule. Without. We wish you all the best in professional with us. Hoping to meet you at the above schedule. Yeah, I think that's about it. We're pleased to welcome you or have you
Okay,
on
sir.
board. Have you on board. Instead of you on board. For all new hires. Okay, please ensure your presence on the below date and schedule. Hoping to meet you at the above schedule. Kindly revert for any clarifications you may seek. I think we'll put this here. Okay. Best regards, your name, designation, your phone number. Kindly revert or hoping to meet you at the above schedule. I think this should suffice.
Right.
Okay. Your name. Okay, dear all, greetings. We are pleased to welcome you or have you on board. This is to indicate or this is to notify that an induction has been scheduled to onboard all new hires. All are new hires. Okay. Please ensure your presence on the below date and schedule. Date, time. Hoping to meet you at the above schedule. Hoping to meet you at the above schedule. Okay. With all relevant documents. Makes sense, right? Hoping to meet you at the above schedule with all relevant documents. Make sense? Yep. Hoping to meet you at the above schedule with all relevant documents specified during the interview. Kindly revert or call for any clarifications you may seek. We wish you all the best in your professional endeavors with us. Okay. I think this should be okay.
Okay, sir.
Looking better now? Yeah.
Yes.
See, when I say recipients, just put it as recipients only, because they may be 50, they may be 5, they may be 100 also. An induction may have about 20,
Right.
30 people, a minimum of 20, 30 people. What they do is they batch it up.
Yes.
They form a batch and then conduct an interview. That could be a manager, that could be a director, that could be an entry level guy. It could be any one of them. The induction will be generic for every one of them.
Okay.
So that's the reason we put it as they are all here, and we say dear recipients. Okay. I'll share this. Just give me a moment. I'll share this later. Okay. I think we'll put this here. Just give me a moment. Makes sense now? Yeah. I'm a little fussy in drafting emails. Yeah. I look through it at least five, 6 times. I make changes 5, 6 times. That's been there for quite some time now. So this is basically what you're actually looking at. Is that what you're looking at?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Induction schedule, or I would say rather than induction notification, you can put this. Yeah. You can also say, yeah. Makes sense now? Can you see my screen, Rita?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes. Number.
Single L, right? Yeah. Welcome
Yes,
on
yes,
board
indeed.
hyphen induction schedule. This should be the
Right.
subject line. Rather, I would prefer to put it as schedule than notification. This is mandate. You know what's mandate? Compulsory.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
This is a notification. And basically, you're trying to develop, we wish you all the best in your professional endeavor. Kindly revert or call for any clarifications. The reason you have to share your phone numbers if a person has any doubts with respect to this. Are you getting what I'm saying?
Yes. Yes. Right.
Yeah, with respect to documents. If you put it as relevant documents, he or she might not all of them would get to know what kind of documents you're supposed to carry. So he or she might call, because there's no harm in sharing your phone number, because they already have been hired. You're not giving it to a stranger.
Correct.
Okay. And your
That's
email ID also is fine. Okay. Sure. Is that okay?
yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. A condensed version. Importantly, this should come in first, then your time, and the place.
Yes.
Yeah. Place is some boardroom number one, boardroom number two. You may have boardrooms in the organization, or some organizations will have boardrooms. They would have named some boardrooms. So, because once you go to the security as a new hire, I'll tell him that I have an induction, and he'll be asking you where. So that's when this will come into
Yes.
handy, so that he'll guide you.
Right.
Okay.
That's it.
Good. Anything else, Vinita?
No, sir.
Any other emails you would like to want? And
No, sir.
all of this should be in bold, huh? So these are your contact
Oh,
details.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
No RGDS
Okay.
here. Please remember, no RGDS.
No, sir. No.
Yeah.
No.
It has to be incomplete. If you can observe, if you observe, kind attention,
No.
respects, greetings. We are pleased to welcome you on board. An exclamatory mark here. Okay. This is to
Okay.
indicate that an induction has been scheduled to you on board all our new hires. Please ensure your presence on the below schedule. Hoping to meet you at the above schedule with all relevant documents specified during the interview. We wish you all the best in your professional endeavor with us. Yeah. Kindly revert or call for any clarifications you may seek. Predominantly, most of the people would call you, not revert. Very few would revert on email because you would have given your email address here and they may have some doubts on the kind of documents they're supposed to carry.
Okay.
Yeah. Make sense?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Okay.
Any other emails?
Yes.
So shall we get back? Yeah.
Sure, sir.
So 38 is, shall we continue from here?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
38. Positive.
Positivity. Nobody likes that one co-worker who claims complaining that they'd be that they'd rather be sipping a pifia colada in tropics right now. A positive attitude sets the tone for a harmonious work environment, which can only lead to more job satisfaction and success in your role. What do you mean by positivity at workplace? Actually, did you get it? A frame of mind to discharge your job role or discharge your responsibilities. A positive frame of mind. That's about it. This I'm sure everybody will have it during the initial stages when they join an organization. All of us. You'll be very positive when you join a new organization, right?
Yes,
So
sir.
it will slowly start fizzling out if you are not liking the culture or if you're not liking the organizational functioning or if there's something going wrong in the organization or if you feel that there's something wrong happening, that's when this will come down. So
Yeah.
if this comes down, what happens? You will not discharge or you will not give it your best shot in your job role, correct?
Yeah.
It happens to most of us. It's happened to me. It's happened to.
Yeah.
It might happen to you. I'm sure that you must have felt all of these. Possibly, at least not all of these. At least a few of these.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay. So next comes your credibility. What's credibility actually? Any idea?
Trustworthy.
This is basically, see, the last line says, find some happy middle ground and establish yourself as a credible resource. Credible is nothing but reliable. Okay.
Bible. Trustworthy.
So
Okay.
that means it says establish yourself as a credible resource. That means you are a reliable resource where the organization or your team's people from your team they feel that you are one reliable source to bank on.
Good.
Okay, that's credibility. There's nothing much.
Okay.
Next comes your manners. Although it may seem obvious, being polite goes a long way. Mind your p's and q's, and practice gratitude wherever you can. See, manners importantly, I'll tell you. It's been again. It goes back to how professional you are. Simple. Your manners could be the way you interact, okay, and the way you respond. Okay. Anything else when it comes to manners? How polite and courteous you are. It can be with your fellow colleagues or with your manager, with anybody in the organization. It's just not within the team. It's a generic version how you basically, or I would also put a word, how you conduct yourself, your professional conduct, or your professional composure. It's a fine word. Professional composure is a fine word. So it's how you interact, how you respond, polite and courteous, and important. It all boils down to professional composure. These two comes together, polite and courteous. That's the reason
Yes,
I've
yes,
taken it as one word here. And importantly, your professional composure in terms of how you conduct yourself. I think that is
yeah,
much to talk because you're not a fresher. So I'm sure that you work.
yes.
How long you've been working? How many years of professional life you've seen, Vinita?
3 years, sir.
3 years. I'm sure that at least you could correlate at least a few what we're discussing here.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Correct? At least a few, not all of them.
Definitely.
At
Yes.
least a few. Okay.
Not all.
Yeah.
Definitely not all, but just a few.
Yeah.
Yes.
Leadership again. See, this is basically a very, very huge, very vast paradigm. A leader may be someone who manages the team, but it could also be a colleague who takes charge of a protector. I'm sorry, takes charge of a project or initiative.
Project.
Regardless of position, effective leaders create a shared vision and inspire others to work towards achieving it. Strong leaders are comfortable with making difficult calls and are experts of keeping things and people on track. They have the ability to plot a course of action. What does mean by plotting a course of action? See, as a leader, it could be anybody who takes charge of a project or initiative. See, normally people would say that you need to be proactive, correct? They would say that you need to
Yes.
take initiatives.
Mm.
So, what do you mean by being proactive and being initiative? Taking the initiative is voluntarily taking up something, telling that I'll do it. I'm sure that you must have seen some people, they'd be working as dead ducks. You know what dead ducks are? Yeah, they
No,
would
sir.
they would they would never respond, or they would never proactively take up any initiative, of course for various reasons. I would sense, taking up initiatives are the ones who actually would like to own responsibilities, would like to take ownerships. Those are
Right. Yeah.
leaders. Those are leaders, and regardless of position, see, basically, you don't need to be a leader to take this up. You can be anybody. You can be an SME. For example, I told you, if you're good in your process, if you're a good contributor to the team's success, tomorrow if there are some new hires walking into the organization, or if you have assume that you are a team of about 10, you have about 5 new joinees who are going to be a part of your process, and they're going to join your team. you
Okay.
you will be nominated, or you will be handpicked by your team manager or by your team leader to help the new joinees in training them on the process. It could be on the process, or they would tell you, to take care of them, handhold them. You know what handholding is?
So what's the word, sir?
Hand holding, HANDHOLDING. When someone walks into the
Hand.
organization, you know, they go through the hand holding procedure.
Which is to support and guide them, sir?
Exactly,
Is it to
exactly. You
support and
got it.
guide? Okay.
So for handholding and leading them, it's nothing but mentoring them. So when you say
Okay.
mentoring them, they would nominate you only when you, or when they find you that you possess those skills to mentor people. Mentoring people is not everyone's cup of tea. Handholding is not everyone's cup of tea. It basically comes with a lot of experience in the process. Your product knowledge, it's just not your product knowledge, it's the ownership, the the proactiveness of every individual in the organization. Not all of them will have these qualities to handhold and mentor. So what they do is they would handpick one or two people who are good in the process, plus a person who has mentoring skills. Importantly, a guy with good product knowledge skills I'm sure that he'll not have mentoring skills, not all of them.
Yeah.
See,
Yeah.
mentoring is a different ball game altogether. You are actually molding someone, you are hand holding someone through the process and telling them and guiding them through the process to ensure that he or she will get to know how he or she has to contribute and what is the procedure to be followed to work on the project, correct?
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's just not training them. All you have to do is you have to sit with them and handhold. See, training is different, practicals are different. Training is different. Getting on to the job at the desk is different, correct?
Yeah.
I can be an
Yes, sir.
excellent guy with good product knowledge, but how good are you hands-on is what matters.
Yeah.
Yeah. So mentoring skills
Yes.
and see, mentoring skills is again one attribute, one among the attributes which comes under leadership. A leader, a
Okay.
leader should have lot many, attributes, lot many things to be called himself a leader, or I would say I would use the word qualities. Okay, the quality of a leader. Mentoring is one prime quality because as a leader, you just not need to lead a team. You should possess the mentoring skills or skills where you can handhold people anytime. It can be an old employee or it can be a new employee. Handhold people and help them guide through the process or help them guide through difficult times if he or she has made a mistake. You agree with me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Rather than escalating the issue to the HR, telling that this guy is not the one
Yeah.
who can contribute. I do not want him in the team. No. See, if you do that, you're failing as a leader. There, you're a failure.
Okay.
Are you getting it, Vinita?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You're
Yes,
a
sir.
failure. You're a failure. I would call you yourself as a failure. You're not a leader. You may be a leader, but bottom line, leadership skills, the main attributes is to lead a team of people, mentor them, and ensure that the goals are met in the prescribed turnaround time. Did you get that?
Right.
Or
Yes, sir.
meet deadlines at a given time. And how do you
Okay.
do it is your headache. And when a sudden new joinees come in, you should also have the patience levels, the ownership to guide them, the ownership to mentor them, and make sure that these guys these guys have the learning curve improved in a short span of time.
Right.
They get to know the process, they start contributing, they become productive. Making them productive, and it's see basically when I say making them productive, it is how you delegate your work. We've spoken about it.
Yes, sir.
So
Yes, sir.
these are predominantly attributes, okay, where we would look at as a leader, and a leader should be good in all of these. It's just not always, and his interpretation skills also matters. When you say interpretation skills, the way he conveys excuse me, thoughts, or the way he communicates uh, uh, information to the team, and whether people are following it or not, and the way he treats the team members. And when I say treats, he or she should be unbiased. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, very important. And he or she should have the potent to identify people with skills. Identify people with skills like identify people who are who possess the leadership skills, or possibly you should have the potent to identify people with uh, process knowledge skills to make sure that he or she should be uh, uh, a trainer or an SME. See, anybody with good process knowledge skills, he has to either will turn out to be a good trainer if his language is good. Okay, you may be a good SME, but bottom line, if your language is not okay, you do not fit the bill of a trainer or a process trainer,
Right.
or to take the new hires on a training process. You don't fit the bill if your language is bad, because your interpretation skills will go for a toss.
Right.
Vinita, are you following what I'm saying?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, these are certain aspects of a leader. And secondly, if suppose assume that one guy is good at process, is executing his work with minimal errors. See, we all do errors. We all have flaws when it comes to process. When it comes to myself as a human being. Of course, yes, everyone has flaws. But when it comes to the process, obviously, you cannot find a perfecto. You can never find a perfecto, and if you happen to find a perfecto, it will be only about 95 to 97%. It cannot be 100% because end of the day, he or she might actually have one or two errors there. So we do not say perfectionists, we would say minimizing errors. So we have to identify as leaders, we have to figure out who these set of people are and make sure that you segregate them in terms of an SME or a person who can mentor or train a new set of people. See, SME is different from a trainer. SMEs are subject matter experts, whether they can interpret, whether they can communicate or not. They are in the process for quite some time. They are good in executing the work. Unfortunately, they would not become trainers for various reasons. Are you getting what I'm saying?
Yes, sir. Yes,
See,
sir.
training is basically a skill, okay? And it's especially training. I would say prioritizing, when you say training, I would prioritize first thing is language, because if you have good language, only then you'll be able to interpret the process to the new hires or anybody on the floor. If
Yeah.
your language is good, you definitely will fit the bill of an SME. It's a blend of SME and a trainer. So your process, you are a mix of subject matter and as well as a person with good training characteristics or good training skills, who has good language skills, who can interpret the client specifics or the process specifics to the new hire on a flawless note. And of course, it doesn't stop there. Once you finish training, you may have to sit with them on the floor and mentor them till they are perfectly okay when it comes to practicals. It can be maneuvering the screen, it can be a CRM, or it can be the way you're handling customers, or the way you are going through the process of, it's the way the kind of how what kind of execution you are doing, because they are new hires. You are supposed to sit with them, mentor them while they are hands on,
Yeah.
and take them through and make sure that these guys perform. That's your challenge as a leader. And how many of us have this? Okay, I've seen only few people have this. So in turn, what they do is, if suppose assuming that I'm a manager, my language skills are bad. See, there's no mandate that every manager will have good language skills, but it's mandate. I'm not too sure. I've seen a lot of managers with bad language skills. I would use the word mediocre. And their
Okay.
teammates, I've seen a couple of them are excellent in language skills, but unfortunately they have to report to this leader.
Okay.
Are you getting what I'm saying, Vinita?
Right.
So
Yes,
in
sir.
such
Yes, sir.
cases,
Yes,
what
sir.
happens is, if you think that you're not able to manage as a leader to train people or mentor people, at least you should be smart enough to identify people from within the team who has all of these, and assign him the role of
Right.
trainer, and also mentor the new hires when they are hired. Simple as that.
Right.
Okay. So in turn, what happens is, it's basically you are identifying a potent, and tomorrow he or she will have more chances becoming, or uh, uh, becoming a trainer, or becoming a team lead, or becoming an SME. So
Okay. Right.
he will be prioritized when it comes to the HRs looking within the team for a trainer, SME, or a team lead. So all of these recommendations are given to the team, given to the HR team by the so-called leaders. They would give a feedback about you, that he's a leadership staff, he's a lead staff, or he's a managerial staff, or he's a staff who can train people. I would go and say that he'll become an excellent trainer. So basically,
Okay.
there what happens is, you are actually transitioning your role to a different role, a lateral movement. You know what lateral movement is?
Yes.
You're moving at a lateral level for a different role, because you fit the role there.
Mm.
So what is
Right.
lateral movement again? Lateral movement is not a promotion. Okay. Please remember, it's not a promotion or
Mm.
it's not a progression in your career. Lateral movement is nothing but what you're doing
Mm.
today. You've been moved to a different role because you fit the bill there. It's more a promotion. It's more an It's more an identifying your skill sets. So it's a lateral move. Have you heard about this term called lateral
Mm.
move?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes,
Yeah.
sir. No.
So lateral movements might help you to rather perform better than before, because whatever lateral movement they have done, it is all because of their assessment while you've been given a role. And when, of course, yes, people who have moved laterally, they would do it out of passion because they are passionate about what they are good at.
Mm.
So these again are
Good.
leadership skills. See, mentoring is not, it's not my cup of tea or your cup of tea. It comes with, it comes with a set of people, with a lot of
Mm.
patience, with a lot of knowledge transfer, and who's able to answer questions effectively about the process because they are thorough with the process. So they'll effectively handle all the questions from a new hire or from within. So he or she will be moved laterally. And of course, yes, monetary benefits, again, it's a HR policy which takes a call. But your movement from the regular role will be a little different, and it's going to be a little challenging as well.
Mm.
Especially mentoring is a challenge. Do you know that?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
It's a challenge. It's a challenge because of what I would say is because you are trying to mentor a set of people to help improvise their performance.
Good.
You're actually enhancing their performance levels. So that's again a challenge. So these are predominantly leadership skills, Vinitha. Any questions, Vinitha?
No, sir.
Yeah. See, it also says they have the ability to plot a course of action. What's plotting? Plan, strategize. Can you see this here? This one?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Let me put it here. Yeah, here this one.
Yes, sir.
See, regardless of position, it's not a
Mm.
mandate that you need to be a manager to do all of these. Some people, have you seen some people, they would be doing a beautiful role even though they are not managers. They'll be doing a wonderful role than their managers.
Understand. Yes, sir.
I've
Yes.
seen them. I've seen a lot of managers, having poor language skills. Okay, but
Mm.
a team member will have better qualities than a manager. But unfortunately, the manager is may would have been promoted just because of his seniorship, because of his senior tenure in the organization. And people
Mm.
with better skills who can help improvise a set of people are the ones who can take responsibility to help people and prove yourself that you are a leader product.
Correct. Correct.
So that's about it. So you get a chance to mentor people. Don't say no, because I've mentored a lot of people. I've mentored, I've trained a lot of people, and I used to go sit with them while they get into the productivity, and then I actually dismantle myself once I get to know that these guys are up and running. Then I know that these guys can perform without any mentors.
Right.
Okay, that's how the organizations work, Vinitha. That's how the organizations should work. I don't see all of these things in most of the startups. I'm sorry, most of the organizations now. See,
Okay.
younger generation lack all of these. Sorry to tell you this. They themselves cannot manage themselves
Mm.
for
Mm.
various
Yeah.
reasons. For various reasons, X, Y, Z. I don't want to talk. Okay, I don't want to comment, but I feel sorry for these guys. I don't get wild. I feel sorry for
Mm.
these guys because they have not been mentored properly by their managers. So that's reflecting on their skills here. You getting what I'm saying?
Yes, sir. Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
they would not
Yes.
have got mentored by the previous managers.
Mm.
It's a sorry state of affairs. It's 95% they are like that. Have you seen anybody speak good English, or possibly anybody speaking, anybody interpreting thoughts, or anybody interpreting their role properly? Have you ever met people and spoken to them? Have you?
That would be in the local language, but not
No, no, not really. I'm talking
English.
about you. I'm talking about business language. Have you spoken to anybody who
No.
has got all of these skills, or have you anytime felt, oh, this guy seems to, this guy is a leader stuff, or this guy is a managerial stuff? I definitely will get to know, when once I start observing this guy or observing this girl, discharging a duty, and the way she carries herself, the way she conducts herself, and the way she mentors people, the way she speaks to people. See, all of these are leadership skills. We've spoken about leadership skills, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
being proactive, and you
Yes.
should have the fire and the belly to train people. See, training
Yes.
people is not everyone's cup of tea. You can train people only when you have a blend of both good process knowledge and good interpretation knowledge. Simple.
Yes. Yes.
You may be good in process knowledge. What if your interpretation skills are not up to the mark? You will never be able to address a crowd even though you're good at process.
Yes.
How
Yes.
will you interpret something which you're good at if your language is bad?
True. Yes.
You can never ever do that. I've seen a lot of leaders like
Not
that.
yet.
So what they do is they assign people like me and you. Okay, they would say that, Madan or Vinita, why don't you? They would call you and tell you that, I'm giving you an extra responsibility. Would you be able to do it? Then they would say that we have 4 new joinees. Why don't you take them and train them on the process and be a mentor till they are good while they get onto productivity. Secondly, they would do it because they are managers, they don't have time for all of these. But 80% of the managers don't do it because their language skills are pathetic. And we have seen a lot of people whose managers, top-notch guys, whose language is awful. That's the only word I can say.
Yes.
It can
Yes.
be, you can take it in any term. When I say awful, it can be language, it can be pronunciation, it can be grammar, it can be the way they interpret, it can be the way they present the topic, it can be any one of them, or it can be all of them also, you never know.
Yes. Yes.
So there you are just a manager without these skills, but you may have good skills in delegating work. Assuming that you don't have all of these skills doesn't mean that he doesn't fit the bill of a manager, but delegating work will be, some people are good at it in spite of not having good language. Have you seen that?
Yes. Yes.
They
Yes.
may be good
Yes.
individuals, but unfortunately, as managers, I would say you might lack interpretation skills. You might lack skills where it's very much required to mentor a set of people. So these are all actually leadership skills. See, when you look at it, they would plot a course. When you say plot a course, what do you mean by it? Strategizing, right? They would, when they say plot, it's nothing but planning. See, actually, plot is a word used for negative purposes. Okay, plot. What's plotting? Plotting a conspiracy.
Yes.
Good, what I'm saying?
Yes.
They'll
Yes.
never say planning a conspiracy. They would say plot.
Lot
It's,
of.
yeah, plot. A plot is nothing but a plan. So here it says they have the ability to plan a course of action. I would use the word plan rather than saying plot. Okay, course of action and inspire the team to work together to achieve it. That means you sit with the team, strategize, plan, and sit with the team to help them understand this is the way we got to work to achieve this plan. So you put the plan into practical action. So that's one aspect, and you may improve your company's output and morale. Okay, and prepare the next generation of managers. Look at that. What is preparing the next generation of managers? That is, you are trying to identify people with leadership skills by
Yes.
prioritizing individuals who have good leadership abilities in their job applications. Just not job applications, in their roles also, where they're working as managers in their roles. So you are not just a manager, just come, sit, go, delegate work, give them leaves, approve leaves, talk to them, address the team every day, stand up call. You know what a stand up call is? Stand up call is, every organization will have a stand up call every day in the morning to chalk out what best can be done compared to yesterday, okay, and what best could be done for the day. So this is more to do with boosting the morale of the team members. Simple as that. So here it says individual have good leadership skills in their job applications and in the job roles or among the team members. That's all I would sum it up. Okay. Any questions, Vinita?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Next come mentorship. See, mentorship, I told you, don't gatekeep 1 minute. Don't gatekeep how you created a stellar meeting agenda in 2.5 minutes. Share your knowledge with the rest of the team whenever you can. I don't give much importance for this. Yeah, this is very, very important. I told you what mentorship is.
Yes, sir.
Mentorship
Yes.
basically is an extra skill. You know, not
Mm.
everybody can become mentors. Who are mentors actually? I'm sure that you may have mentors who you may take them as role models. Correct?
Yes, sir.
You know what a role model is.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay? It's not a mandate that you need to have a role model within the
Mm.
organization or at workplace. Your role model can be anybody out of your professional role as well, out of
Mm.
the office. It can be a film star, it can be a cricketer, it can be somebody who's into an NGO act or who's into socializing. It can be a philanthropist. You know what a philanthropist is, or it can be any
Yes.
founder of an organization. Your role model can be anyone.
Mm.
It's not a mandate that only your manager or any managers in the organization, or your role model can be your dad also.
Mm.
So, role model is a very, very generic word. You can pick your role
Mm.
model according to your from your perspective. For me, my role
Mm.
model is different from yours. Okay.
Definitely.
For some, role models are entrepreneurs. For some, role models are founders of companies. For example, some of us, we have role models as Azim Ji, Prem Ji. You know who's Azim Ji, right? Have you heard about Azim
As
Ji,
in,
the founder of Wipro?
oh, yes. Yes,
Azim
sir.
Ji, Prem Ji. Some people have taken Azim Ji, Prem Ji's style of functioning, the way he's come up as role models are, and some of them say that Naran Murthy is my role model. You know Naran Murthy, Infosys.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
So,
Yes, sir.
the role models can vary from person to person. And for some, the role models can be a person from the film fraternity. Some may be
Mm.
from the sports fraternity. It again depends on the kind of qualities you like in a person, and you would like to,
Mm.
uh, you know, imbibe those qualities, imbibe their learning, imbibe the way they have done in your life. You can apply
Right.
that.
Mm.
See, so role models are from your perspective.
Mm. Good.
And when I say role models in organization, your mentor can be a role model in the organization
Mm.
only, or sometimes it can be both in the organization and offline also. So mentorship is a very, very, uh, uh, you know, tedious task. I would say diligent role to play until
Mm.
and unless, see, a mentor, you cannot become a mentor just like that, or you'll
Right.
not be nominated as a mentor just like that. There are various parameters you'll be assessed. Not only then they will say that, hey, come on, Vinita, there are a set of people coming in. Why don't you train them? And a
Mm.
mentor's role is to train and also sit with them while they are on hands-on and make sure that they, just not improvise. They get into the
Mm.
pipeline or they get into the system quite fast and start performing. That's your mentor's role. And once they start performing, what you do is actually you actually slowly come out of the loop.
Mm.
Yeah, you let the guy work independently, but
Mm.
on the whole, you got to be with that guy for at
Mm.
least quite some time till you find that this guy is performing and he doesn't need any dependency factors.
Right. Mm.
Vinita, are you following what I'm saying?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That's the role model. Once he finishes that, he or she
Mm.
will have to get back to his role. And tomorrow, if there is an
Right.
IJP is basically internal job posting for the role of a trainer
Mm-hmm.
or for the role of an SME, if you apply,
Mm-hmm.
you will be given priority because they would take the feedback from the team manager.
Right.
Okay, and no mentorship will be on paper. They'll not put that
Mm-hmm.
mentorship on paper, but your manager will be the best person to share the feedback and tell that, and recommend your progression, and recommend the IJP progression when it comes to the mentors or the SMEs, because he or she, they will definitely ask their opinion, the team manager's opinion on this. Okay.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. Next one, initiative. Initiative is spoken, it's being proactive,
Mm-hmm.
it's voluntary. Did you get it?
Yes.
Yeah. Proactive is you're doing it on your own.
Mm-hmm.
No one's trying to push you. You're
Mm-hmm.
proactively doing it. Okay.
Right.
So that's initiative. Why I also wish someone could just tell me what to do all the times. Being in the corporate world requires showing a little initiative. Don't spiral. Just pick something and you could do reasonably well and try to make an impact on your team. See, proactiveness just basically should come from within. It should it's more or less like you got to ignite that proactiveness within yourself before before people coming and telling you, hey, why did you do this? Rather, you can voluntarily
Mm-hmm.
say that, I'm ready to take it up.
Right. Okay.
That's about it. And proactiveness is just not informal. It could be in your informal life also. For example, you're actually assume that your sister is getting married or your brother's getting married, and obviously, you proactively, when you say your sister, not only your own sister, your cousin sister, you proactively take up some ownership, correct?
Correct.
you'll
Correct.
you'll tell
Right.
that, don't worry uncle, I'll take care of the dining hall, I'll make sure that
Yes.
I'll stand here and make sure that everything is organized and everything runs smoothly. Have you not done it? We do it. So that's
Yes. Yes.
proactive.
Right.
That's proactive. You
Right.
volunteer yourself to get into some act without anyone's asking you to do it. It happens
Mm-hmm.
in even in organizations when there are a lot of things and they would say, who wants to take it up, then you proactively say that I'll do it. So these are various aspects of proactiveness. Proactiveness can happen
Right.
even in your social life. Okay, how
Right.
proactively you talk to people, how proactively you pick up a conversation, how proactively you actually respond to people, how proactively you make sure that you convey the information and tell that, hey boss, look, I'm here to do it, or possibly I can do it. So
Right.
proactiveness is nothing but volunteering yourself for an act or to be a part of an act. It could be a part of a project, it could be part of a training, or it could be part of any activity, formal and informal. Simple.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
And the last one, decision making. It says great leaders can make great decisions without breaking a sweat. It's not sweet, it's sweat. Okay.
Yes. Yes.
But this doesn't mean acting impulsively. You have to know how to quickly take in the context and feedback to make the best possible chance. See, decision making, it has to come from within. When I said decision making, first thing what we do is before making a decision, there is something called as, let me put it here. You analyze, right? First analyze,
Analyze.
correct?
Yes.
Then think, then strategize, and execute. You agree with me?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. First we analyze, then we think.
Mm-hmm.
Think about the problem. Then once you get to know the root cause of the problem, you actually strategize how to eradicate it. What's eradicating? What's eradicating, Vinita? How we can resolve.
Eliminate. Yeah.
Exactly. Eradicating is beautiful. Eliminating is eradicating. Okay. So once basically this is all of this comes and execute. See, these are all decision making attributes. Some people are good at all of them. They analyze very quickly, they think, they strategize and execute them.
Yes.
These are nothing but these are all all of these comes under decision making. Once you execute, when do you execute? Only when you have made the decision, only then you execute it. See, these are things which a great leader, it's just not a great leader. I wouldn't say leaders, I wouldn't call everybody leaders. I see there are a lot many times, a normal person may have leadership qualities within them,
Right.
but they would not have got an opportunity to apply or put it into practice. You agree with me?
Yes. Yes.
Some movie stars, they have leadership skills.
Mm.
Some movie stars will have excellent socializing skills. Okay, and some movie stars will be extroverts, and some of them will be introverts. Some of them are fan friendly, some of them are not. It again depends on how your temperament is, how your character is. Simple as that. But when it comes to decision making, it's universally the same when it comes to personal and informal. When I say personal, if you have a problem in personal problem, first thing is you analyze, right? Then think what went wrong.
Yes. Yes.
Correct?
Yes.
You think
Correct.
about what went wrong, and possibly next course of action is you put in corrective measures, right? Putting in
Correct.
corrective
Correct.
measures is nothing but strategizing. And after that,
Mm.
you're gonna after putting in corrective measures, you again try it out by executing it another time without a flaw, so that
Correct.
it turns out without any flaws. That's about decision making. It's not rocket science, and you've done it in your life. You've still been doing it. I've been doing it in my personal life. Forget my formal life. We've all been doing it, but the only thing we are on paper is what we are discussing, which we can correlate in our lives, everyday lives, I can say.
Yes.
I'm sure that you can correlate.
Yes.
Yeah, when you talk about decision making, how did you decide to take up this course? Tell me. Okay. One simple question. What made you take this course, or what made you, think about soft skills?
The core element was I believed I could be a soft skill trainer,
Okay.
which over a period of time I've lost that quality in myself
Were you
due
training
to
people
different
before?
circumstances. No, 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 sir. No.
Okay.
No. I wanted to become a counselor. I wanted to become an image consultant. So it was all wanted to, but it never got, it never surfaced. It never got the right attention that it deserved. But then now I just wanted to give it a try,
Hmm.
sort of uh, remind myself of whatever qualities I possess.
Okay. See, you have every human being, we all have qualities. It's just not that, a person who's dumb, who doesn't speak much to people, you cannot underrate that guy. What's underrating? Underestimating.
Yes.
See, most of the times what we do is we conclude when once we meet people. We say that this is how it is, this is how we actually conclude. We become more judgmental. Correct? Psychologically speaking, we actually, human beings are more judgmental. We judge people by so many various factors. You never know until and unless you never know the person's attributes, or you never know the person's strength until unless you interact with him, strike a bond with him, and get to know him at the micro level or very closely. Do you agree with me? You gotta,
Uh,
yeah, you were telling something.
no, sir. No, sir, because I don't judge people at all. I don't judge people. I believe there's something good or bad in a person, in every other person. Not that a person can be entirely bad or just entirely good.
No,
That's
my
not
my
possible.
my see what my statement was. If you have observed my statement closely,
Mhm.
you get to know a person's strength. Okay, you learn a person's A strength, when I talk about strength, it can he or she may be a good human being. He might not possess all of the skills, but he may be a good soul.
Correct.
Understand what I'm saying? He or she might
Yes. Yes.
not be highly learned. He or she might not be working in the corporate industry, or he or she might not be the one, you know, who may be a mentor. He or she might not be good in English language, but bottom line, he he could be a good soul altogether.
Correct. Correct.
Without all of these qualities, with or without all of these
Correct.
qualities, there may be
Correct.
some people who are actually wicked in spite of having all of these qualities.
True.
A person can be manipulative with all the other relevant qualities in place. So that's been
True. True.
that you'll get to know only when you move with the person very closely or talk to the person very closely, only when you get to know the repercussion vibes.
Correct. Correct.
You agree with me?
Yes. Yes.
That's what I
Yes.
was
I
trying to
do.
tell you. That's what. See, it's being
Correct.
judgmental is basically. I'm not trying to say that he's a bad guy. But once and once for all, I would not say. I would say bad guy. But there are some people who are very judgmental. Like you said that you aren't. But some people,
Yes.
majority of us are judgmental when they look at a
Yes.
person. See,
Yes.
when I look at a person,
Mm,
I become judgmental. The very first look, I would at least there will be some kind of a rating within me.
mm,
Yeah, I would rate a person when I first look at a person, even though I don't talk to him, I would at least come to a
mm,
conclusion that, oh, this guy might be good, or this guy might be bad, or this guy may be like this.
Okay.
By the way he dresses up, there may be some wicked characteristics, camouflaged in a nice set of attire, very formally, very neatly dressed, very good
Correct.
looking. Those individuals might be wicked from inside. You never know.
Correct. Correct.
See, I'm talking about psychology. See, when once we
Yes.
see, that's what conclusion means. That's what judgmental means. But bottom line, when we
Mm,
look at somebody, the guy may be wicked, but your conscience might be telling that he may or may not be good.
mm.
But bottom line, you would not say yes or no. You also will be, in betweens, like may or may not be.
Right. Right.
That's
Right.
that's that's what I'm trying to convey. That's what judgmental is all about. And the final judgmental, when you take a call, when after you establish or after you figure out that this guy is good or bad. If he or she is good, you definitely will latch on. If he or she is bad, you discard yourself from that individual.
Right.
Make sense?
True. Yes.
So
Yes.
that's what, see, when that again comes after you analyze a person. It can be through it can you may analyze a person by the way he looks, number one, correct, and his body language, right? Assume that you're not spoken to a person, okay? You look at a person,
Okay.
you look at his personal disposition, the way he's dressed up, the way he walks, yeah, the way he interacts with people, not you. He's not interacting with you, okay? See, we get into an observation mode, right?
Correct.
Without without you have not spoken to that guy, nor you have not interacted with that guy, and you might start thinking that this guy might be like this guy. But bottom line, the whole perception will change after you strike a bond and start analyzing that person. You agree with me?
True. 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 True.
Yeah. Sometimes it so happens that your negative perception will be would turn out to be something which is very very different. You would start thinking that, oh my God, my perception was wrong.
Correct. Correct.
See, those are nothing but deceptive features of a human being. And some people, I've seen a lot of auto rickshaw drivers and Ola drivers in Bangalore. Okay, and I frequently take Ola. I frequently go out with my wife takes a Ola cab. She takes a Ola ride. She takes a Uber ride. And even I have taken rides. I usually don't take a cab because I would not want to spend money just for myself going in a taxi until unless I have my wife or some family members with me. So what I do is I
Correct.
take a Rick. I when I take a Rick, I pick up a conversation. See, basically, I'm a person who will pick up a conversation with any Tom, Dick, and Harry of the street. That's what I'm all about. So basically,
Right.
even some, so, my wife also tells me that you talk to every Tom, Dick, and Harry. I said, boss, basically that's the way I am. And when I start talking, I start analyzing, or I would start assessing that person. It could be in the local language. It doesn't mean it does not have to be in English alone.
Right.
அந்த இங்கிலீஷ்ல பேசினா மட்டும்தான் இல்லை. See, any human being, you know, can be good even though he's not learned, like I told you. So what I do is I pick up a conversation. 50% of these guys, they're all, at least they would have studied till PU or a 10th standard. You know what PU is? 11th and 12th.
Yeah.
So what I do is I start analyzing this guy, and sometimes, it so happens
Hello?
that hello, are you able to hear me? Are you able to hear me, Vinita?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. So what I do is I basically pick up a conversation to assess.
Yes,
So
sir. Yes, sir.
what I
Yes.
do is I start analyzing from the minute he starts talking. I do that because he's not a friend; he's a stranger to me. Correct? Vinita, are you able to hear me? Am I audible to you?
Right.
Am I audible to you, Vinita?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So I get into the analyze mode. Okay. I first analyze, then I start thinking about this guy. I come to my own conclusions. Correct? Then I start concluding this guy. Vinita, are you able to hear me? Hello. Hello, Vinita.
Sir. Yes, sir.
Am I clear now?
Yes, sir. I can hear you, sir.
Sure. So I start thinking
Yes, sir.
from within. I start,
Yes,
you know, uh,
yes, sir. Yes, sir. I can hear you, sir.
I start thinking consciously.
Analyzing.
I start analyzing this guy on a very conscious note. Then what I do is I actually conclude about this guy, whether this guy is good, bad, or ugly. Correct? Vinita, are you able to hear me?
Right. Right.
Hello, Vinita. Are you able to hear me?
Right, sir. Right, sir. Yes, sir. I can hear you, sir.
Yeah. See, every human being, they do that. When it
Sir, I
comes to
can hear you, sir. Loud
yes,
and clear, sir. I can hear you.
you can hear me, right? You can hear me, right?
Yes, sir. I can hear you, sir.
Okay. And see, this is what decision making is. And
Yes,
when you
sir.
say
Yes, sir. I can
decision
hear you, sir.
making, sure, thanks. And when you talk about decision making, that's when you conclude. Similarly, every human being, we get through this mode of analyze, think, strategize, and execute. This is a commonly, this is everybody would do that. Here we are actually discussing about the topic where every one of us are doing it on a regular note, okay, during all walks of life. We do it every minute. We do it with every interaction
Right.
we do with people, or every transaction we do with people, or it could be with anybody except for your known people. You don't have to go through this phase with a person whom you know for a long time. This happens only when something crops up, when there is a problem which crops up. Of course, yes,
Correct.
problem when there is a problem cropping up, also we get into this mode. So these are key attributes, and importantly, decision
So,
making depends on how good you are in analyzing and strategizing things before you come to a conclusion, or before you execute whatever you feel is the perfecto kind of an activity. After you analyze and think about what could be put in to correct the flaw which has happened, or possibly I would say your corrective measures you after you analyzed and thought, okay, I'll put in this corrective measure. That's what decision is all about. We all do it subconsciously. We do it. Some issues which are very important, we put in that conscious effort, and some of them we collectively do it with a couple of friends. We share it with a couple of friends, and we take their opinion before we conclude also. Correct? if there's a little complex situation, are you able to hear me, Vinita?
Hello?
Vinita, are you able to hear me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. Sometimes we do it on an individual note, and sometimes we actually take opinion from your friends
So I think I
and
lost you.
sorry. Hello, Vinita.
I can hear you, sir. It's
Okay.
perfect now, sir. I can hear you.
Yeah.
The
So
audio gets delivered a little late. I
okay.
can hear you.
Okay. So
Yes, sir, I can
we
hear you, sir.
sure, thanks. And what we do is sometimes at a personal note we take people's opinions, and sometimes we do not take people's opinions. We do all of these on our own.
Mm.
When we do it, we do it individually, and certain things we need to analyze and we need to discuss
Mm.
with a set of people in the organization if there's a problem which is cropped up, or at the personal level also. I'm sure that we share a few things with our friends also to help me understand whether my analysis was right or wrong, or
Mm.
whether my decision is right or wrong. Before execution also, I would definitely seek people's opinion and tell them, hey, yeah, look,
Mm.
this is what it is, this is what I'm planning to do. Is that okay if I do it? I'm sure that we all have been
Mm.
doing it and we will still continue doing it, correct?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's at the personal level. When I talk about formal level,
Mm.
formally working in an organization,
Mm.
problem
Mm.
resolution is what we actually look at as a critical one, or we prioritize problems. And again, decision making plays an important role to check how well you analyze the problem and thought about executing the problem, executing the problem solving measures, and how you execute it is very very important. So all of this comes under the decision making factor. Importantly, these two plays an important role, believe me, these two. How
Yes,
you
sir. Yes,
this
sir.
one, especially analyzing, this is where you try to figure out what's gone wrong. This is
Mm.
basically, when I say analyze, I would say I would use one term called RCA, which is commonly used, root cause analysis.
Yes.
We run a root cause analysis to figure out what went wrong, where it went wrong, and why it went wrong.
Right. Right.
So
Yes, sir.
this is one important aspect. If this is perfect, your
Mm.
strategy will become perfect. If you think that
Yeah.
your root cause analysis, this is one problem which is creating problems, then
Mm.
you have to figure it out, what measures could be
Mm.
taken so that these kind of things could be curbed, or how to improvise it, or how to put in corrective measures. Simple as that.
Okay.
Any questions, Vinita?
No, sir. No.
Sure. And email writing, any questions?
No, sir. All of this.
Let me go to the email writing skills. Yeah, here I think we have 5 templates. Either you can possibly, what you can do is, yeah,
Mm.
you can work out on different email aspects, different situations. See, these are all situation based. See,
Yes, sir.
situation
Yes,
based
sir.
emails are, uh, I would give you one suggestion. Do not follow any
Mm.
templates, but follow the format.
Yes, sir. Mm. Right, sir.
Follow the format, do not follow the template. Okay.
Mm.
And here
Mm.
again, you can take my personal number also, 81972333154. That's my personal number. Okay. You can
Okay,
make note of
sir.
this number. Apart from this number, the one which you interact, this is my personal number. You can save this number. Okay. You can
Okay, sir.
interact me on, yeah, I'm on WhatsApp on the number. This is the one which
Okay,
we
sir.
interact, is usually the official number. Sometimes,
Official number.
yeah,
Okay.
official number, I would switch it off during my weekends sometimes, not all the time.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
sir.
if I'm
Okay,
traveling,
sir.
if I'm on the move, I switch off
Okay.
the official number after the business hours most of the times, or I would say sometimes.
Okay,
uh,
sir.
but bottom line, you can record this number also, and you can ping me,
Okay,
or you
sir.
can call me whenever you need my help in terms of clarification. Did you get the number?
Yes, sir. Got it,
Yeah.
sir.
Okay. Any questions, Vinita?
No, sir.
Are you sure?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. And how about this page? You have any questions? Yeah.
Yes, sir.
And I would
It's
wanted to tell you one more thing again. Okay.
yes,
Apart
sir.
from that, one last thing which I wanted to predominantly say.
Feedback.
One minute. Feedback mechanism or technique.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Okay. Giving a feedback to a person is also a technique. Correct. How you
Yeah.
give a person a feedback is
Correct.
also a technique. The first thing, what is the first thing which we talk about, Vinita? If suppose I'm giving you feedback or if you're giving me a feedback, what is the first thing you would talk about, or how do you go about giving me a feedback? My simple question. Assume that you're working in an organization, okay, and you're my manager, and every manager will be trained on how to provide feedback. Do you know that? They'll be trained.
Oh, okay. Okay, sir.
They would train you on how to provide feedback to an employee, to a teammate. See, when I say they would train, professional organizations will tell them how to provide a feedback. For some, for
Okay.
some, the training is not required because providing feedback is also is one of the top-notch
Skills.
skill as a manager. Top-notch skill.
Okay.
It is a part of it. It acts as it. You can correlate that with interpersonal skills.
Okay.
So the first thing, assume that I've made a mistake, okay, and I come to you and you, or possibly you summon me. You know what the word summon is? SUMMON.
Yes, sir. Yes.
தெரியும்ல summon னா உங்களுக்கு தெரியும்.
Yes,
This
sir.
one.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir. Yes, sir.
You summon me. Okay. I come to you. I would say I would come to you. You know, you wanted to talk to me. So summoning is basically ordering actually. தெரியும்ல. So you're not invited for a feedback. Please remember that. Okay. Nobody
Yes.
will invite you for a feedback, but they summon you for a feedback session. Or they would want to talk to you on some aspect or some error or some flaw which you may have done. So I as a manager or I as a team lead, I actually summon my team member to help him understand, or I would say give him a feedback. Assume that you're my manager, you summon me, I come to you, and let's presume that I've made a mistake, okay? How would you go about connecting with me on giving a feedback? How do you do that? See, it's very, very important. It's just not in your formal life, it applies with your informal or your personal life too. How do you go about Vinita? Or how do you think is the best technique to go about giving a feedback to an employee or a peer or a colleague or a teammate? Soft skills plays an important role here too, correct?
Right.
Right? The first thing what you do,
Right.
first thing what is going to what are you going to toss? How are you going to initiate? See, you got to initiate a conversation first and then give a feedback. You cannot straight away hit the bullseye because this is not a session where you can hit a bullseye. You have to talk to the person, make him understand that he or she's made a mistake. And how do you initiate a conversation? Where do you start off, or where do you think you can initiate?
Clueless.
Sorry,
I'm clueless.
I didn't get you.
I'm clueless.
I really didn't get you. Can you be a little louder?
I have no idea. I'm a little clueless.
Okay, you said clueless. Okay, first thing, any feedback mechanism should start off on a positive note. Okay, First, talk about the
So I could have
highlights.
said
Absolutely. First,
yes.
talk about the highlights.
Mm.
It could be something. It
I
could be
thought
some.
of it, I could have said.
Sorry.
I thought of this said it, then I didn't say it.
It could be anything positive about that person.
Mm.
Okay. You
Okay.
start off
Okay.
on a positive note. We call it as highlights.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. Highlights. Yeah.
Okay.
Something good about the person,
Mm.
or something good about his performance. I'm sure that when you call him for a
Mm.
positive, for a feedback session, I'm sure that he'll not be 100%. You would not have made the mistake 100%. I'm sure. It may be
Mm.
10% or maybe about 20%. The rest 60%, I'm sure that he must have done a good job or a decent job. Correct?
Right. Right.
He may be doing a good job, but unfortunately, he must
Mm.
have messed up 20% or 30%.
Mm.
So
Mm.
first, talk something good about his contribution.
Mm.
Okay, you can. Those are highlights. Then you can always talk about his lowlights, or in other words, it's areas of opportunities. Areas of opportunity. So when I say areas of opportunity, where he has to improve,
Okay.
improvement. It's nothing but areas of improvement. Some people use the word areas of improvement. No, you would use the word called as areas of opportunity.
Mm.
It means where he needs to improve.
Mm. Okay.
See, when I say you need to improve on this, basically I'm trying to, play with your psychology. So I shouldn't put you down, but rather I would say that you
Mm.
are doing a good job in this. We have seen you for so many days. Your soft
Mm.
skills again makes a lot of difference. You have to effectively use your soft skills if you are a good manager. Please remember this.
Mm. Okay.
Okay, if you are a good manager, your feedback
Mm.
mechanism indicates how good a manager you are, how good interpersonal skills you possess. It comes into the picture only when you are providing a feedback to your teammate or anybody who has made a mistake, or when you summon the person to talk to him about a mistake he or she may have done. So please start off on a positive note, telling that we've been together as a team. Okay. Then
Mm.
first of all, you have to tell him that thank you for your time. Please come and sit down. There are a
Mm.
few things which I would like to discuss. Don't highlight it in such a fashion that the other guy or her will get scared about the whole thing.
Mm.
don't
Okay.
don't don't play with people's psychology. So all you have to do is you got to
Mm.
tell him in a polished fashion that thank you for coming. We also should tell him that you've been doing a fantastic job. Please sit down. And you also should make sure that you tell him that there's nothing alarming.
Okay.
So you should make sure that the guy gets off the insecurity mode.
Mm. Mm.
You got what I'm saying now?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes,
Because
sir.
he or she might come into the cabin with an insecurity mode, telling that, oh my god, I've done something major and I'm going to lose my job.
Right. Right.
Y- hope you're hope you're
Got it.
understanding what I'm saying. So first and
Yes,
foremost thing
yes,
is
sir.
make sure that you pull him in your comfort zone and tell him that you've been here with the team for about 4 months. There's nothing alarming. Telling that there's
Mm.
nothing alarming. Yeah, you've been
Mm.
doing a good job. You've been with the team. You've been contributing for the team's success for the last 2 years, and
Mm.
you are a good human being. Uh, you've been
Mm.
doing this. You've been doing good on these parameters. They talk about parameters. What are parameters? Criterias.
Mm.
You talk about the parameters. You've been doing good on these parameters. Yeah. And you also can tell him that however, there are a few areas of improvements. Use the word few. Or
Mm.
let's say that, however, please make sure that you improve all of these things. When you use the word please, it's basically you're trying to request that guy, and gets it doesn't get nervous, nor he feels good about
Yeah.
how you're talking to him, and he will be receptive to your feedback, and he'll get back and he'll start performing.
Right. Right.
So you are depicting a picture that you are
Mm.
taking the insecurity feeling of the team member off his mind. He'll get into the comfort
Mm.
zone, and also he
Mm.
will listen to you very effectively. Will you not do that?
Yes, sir. Good.
If I respect you, you definitely will listen to me.
Yes, sir.
So that's a technique again. That's a psychological technique which people, majority of the managers, they don't use. I've seen. I feel so sorry for these guys. So
Mm.
feedback mechanism, providing feedback, is again a technique where soft skills plays a major role. That again depends on
Mm.
how you strike, how you initiate the conversation. You know that you are
Mm.
called this guy or girl to talk to him
Mm.
about his goof ups, correct?
Mm.
But
Right,
why don't you
right.
highlight? But why don't you highlight his positives also to make sure that he feels good?
Mm.
So talk about the positives. Tell him that you're here. We are here for a quick 5 minutes. So make sure that he knows that you're not going to take much time, or possibly he'll not get scared.
Right.
If in case he's come with an
Mm.
insecurity feeling, that he'll feel at ease. Make sure that the person is feel at ease, and
Right.
tell him that you've been here with us for 2 years, and you're doing a fantastic job on this and this. But
Mm.
however, use the word however, no, don't use the word but. However, there are a few things
Mm.
which you need to improve on. Few things, Mane, when you say few things, he'll be relieved.
Correct,
He'll
correct.
be psychologically relieved that telling that, oh my God, I've
Mm.
not done a major goof up. But he'll
Right.
know that, oh my God, he'll start thinking that, oh my God, let me not give him a chance. The next time I'll start working on it. He'll become receptive to your feedback. He'll start applying corrective measures on what you've highlighted on the areas of opportunities. Simple as that. That's again a technique, Vinita.
Got it. Got it.
So this is basically, it comes with your
Mm.
experience. I've seen a lot of managers, they lack this technical skills because they do not have these soft skills, or possibly the skills to convince his team member. See, these are all convincing skills actually.
Okay.
So
Okay.
these all fall under soft skills.
Mm.
Okay.
So why do you say this is a convincing skill?
I'm sorry. See,
Why do you say this is a convincing skill?
I didn't get your question.
Why do you say this is a convincing skill?
See, basically, you got to make sure that the person agrees when you talk about his errors.
Mm.
When you convince people, actually, you convince people to make sure that the person says yes to whatever you say, right?
Mm.
And here, you're convincing him with data, right? And
Okay.
again, you tell him that don't worry, we are always there to help you. It's basically you are
Mm.
boosting his morale by telling that don't worry, we are there to help you improve. See, that's again mentoring skills.
Okay.
So it's a combination
Mm.
of soft skills, it's a combination of convincing and mentoring skills. You can always tell them, don't worry, you'll please make sure that you don't do this, and tell him that if you need help, you can come to me anytime. You can straight away walk into my cabin anytime and seek help. That means you are offering help to this guy and making sure that he gets out of the cabin or gets out of the feedback mechanism activity on a very good note, on a positive note. And of course, he'll have a
Mm.
he'll have something positives to talk about you as a manager, correct?
Correct. Mm.
Absolutely. The picture what you
Yes.
depict within him
Mm.
psychological. See, he knows that he's made a mistake, and secondly, he
Mm.
knows that he's going to be penalized. Number two, and when you talk to him in a
Mm.
very polished fashion, and you can ask him, these are the areas of improvements. You ask him, what's that we can do to work together to make sure that you don't do this again. When you say we,
Mm.
that means you are saying both of you. That means we are there to help you. Simple.
Correct. Correct.
See, it's all soft skills again. See, all of these, it just not acts here. We used to
Mm.
use that technique while we were talking to customers. Okay.
Mm.
I told you
Okay.
that I come from a call center background. Okay. When the customer
Yes.
calls
Yes.
in with a problem, we always
Mm.
used to use the word we, because we
Mm.
as an organization. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we
Mm.
as in me and you, that means me and
Mm.
you as a customer. And we also used to tell them that
Yes.
when I say why don't we work together to resolve this, that means I'm telling the customer that I need your cooperation till I resolve.
Right. True.
Similarly, as a manager, he'll tell that, don't worry, we'll work together. If you have any issues, you can please come to me. We shall ensure that it is resolved, and you shall not do that mistake. That means you are taking the ownership there.
Mm.
Are you getting, Vinita?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
It's a
Right.
ownership factor, and he also will feel very good that, oh, hey, look, this guy seems to be helpful. So he will
Mm.
seriously start working on the areas of opportunities or the areas of improvements, and I'm sure that this guy will never ever make that kind of an error going forward. Believe me, that's practically it's worked. It will work practically. And
Right.
that again comes when, after you use all of these techniques, that is, you're
Mm.
instilling confidence in the other person. Simple as that.
Correct.
That
Correct.
you will not be harmed, or that you will not be taken off
Mm.
the job, but yet you're telling him that this is very critical to improve in a very, very
Right.
polished fashion.
Right. Correct.
Okay, that's important. Feedback mechanism is, again, I'll tell you, not all the managers will have the skill, Vinita. I've seen 80% of the managers, they fail as managers, and people leave managers, they don't leave organizations. Please remember this.
Correct. Sir. Correct.
Yeah, it's a corporate caption, it's a corporate, adage. You know what an adage is? ADDAGE.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You've heard about this word?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Adage is nothing but a verbiage, a saying. Tamil Rango.
Mm.
What do you say in Tamil? They have
Education.
adage is nothing but a saying. It's a saying.
No.
It's a corporate saying telling that employees will, they're not the ones who leave the organizations. They leave the managers. If you are a good manager, if you possess all of these skills, believe me, you can grow along with the team, and you also help the team grow. Simple. That's all I can say.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
True.
I don't think you'll find such managers now, Vinita. I don't think you'll
Okay.
find such managers. We used to work with such managers once upon a time, but unfortunately, I've seen
Mm.
most of the managers now, they are all immature. Okay, they lack
Okay.
experience. They lack soft skills. Basically, they
Mm.
lack soft skills. See, soft skills can do wonders if you
Okay.
apply it at the right place with the right set of people, with the right situation. Simple as that.
Right. Right.
Any question, Vinita?
No, sir. No.
Sure. I'll paste this. You want me to resend it again?
This one, sir.
Yeah.
No, sir. I've noted it. I've noted it, sir.
1 minute. I'll just paste it on your WhatsApp. Just give me a moment. I'll put this.
Okay. Sir. Okay, sir.
This one, right? எங்க copy பண்ணனும் from here, no? From here.
So when does it, because now full note பண்ணிட்டேன், sir. I've
Okay.
sort of marked it on the printed sheets and also noted on this.
Okay. Okay. Any questions, Vinita? Please ping me on this number or on my personal number. Not a problem. Okay. And you can
Okay,
call
sir.
me if you find any difficulty, or possibly if you have any clarification. You can call us anytime.
Thank you, sir. Thank
Okay.
you.
If you have any questions, you still have time to shoot questions so that we can wind up. We can wind up today, or do you have any more questions for tomorrow?
No, sir. No more questions.
Sure.
Not really, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. You let me know if you have any questions. You can message me on WhatsApp on my personal number, and as well as this number or any one of those numbers. Not an issue.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
So it was
Thank
nice
you.
being with you for the last 10 days, Vinita. In fact, uh,
Yes, sir.
if you have any feedback for me, you're more than happy to, send it across to me, or possibly you. Thank you so much for giving the review. Okay, that
Mm.
will add value for me as a trainer, and for the organization as well.
Right, sir.
Okay,
Right, sir.
if you have any questions, you can send me an email. Okay,
Sure, sir.
yeah, this is my email. Did you note it down?
Yes, sir. Got it,
or
sir.
or this is my personal email, or again
Okay.
you can put it over here on, I think I saw it somewhere. Just a minute.
Hello at learning like
Exactly,
that.
exactly. You can shoot a mail
Okay.
there or mother@controldigital.com.
Okay.
Okay, it was nice being with you. Okay, and I wish you all the best. Okay,
Thank you, sir.
personally
Thanks a lot.
and at the professional level, and let us stay connected. And I wish you all the great big success in the world.
Thank you, sir. Thanks a lot.
Right?
Thank you.
Shall we wind up?
Sure, sir.
Yeah, yeah. It was nice being with you. Nice talking to you for all these days, 10 days. Okay.
Thank you, sir. Thank
Right,
you.
Vinita. Right, and I shall possibly try to organize the course completion certificate as soon as possible.
Sure, sir. Sure, sir.
Okay. Right, Vinita.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much. Thank you once again, and thank you for bearing with my schedule going haywire here and there.
Are not at all, sir?
Okay. Right, Vinita.
Uh, thank you, sir.
You're
Thanks a
welcome,
lot, sir.
and all the best once again. God bless.
Thank you, sir. Thanks a lot.
Bye bye. Bye. Take care.